Good afternoon, Prairie View Christian Church. Today is Wednesday, April 21st, 2021. It's time for your midweek update. Other than the absolutely absurd weather that we've all been dealing with, not a whole lot new to report at the church this week. Thankfully, we did get our spring workday in this past Saturday before we had another winter last night and this morning. But our property looks great, and so thank you to everybody who helped out with that. Now, a few typical reminders this week, and then one announcement that is certainly worth filing away for you. Number one, today we'll do our usual Wednesday routine. You'll have this video, you'll have a devotion. This was my week to write a devotion, and this week's devotion actually focuses on numerical growth at the church. That's something that we maybe don't talk about a whole lot, maybe don't talk about as much as we should, is really the point of that devotion. So I encourage you to read that and put some thought into it and consider where we are as a church and what role you might have to play in more people coming to Prairie View Christian Church to hear the gospel preached, more people potentially calling Prairie View Christian Church their home church in the future. We would love to see that as well. So that devotion will be coming out in Nancy's email here in just a little bit, along with this video. If you aren't watching it on Facebook Live, you can watch it on YouTube. When that comes out, please keep an eye out for that email. And we are still asking for RSVPs for Sunday mornings, even though we have had some visible, really good changes the past few Sundays with our COVID precautions, live music returning, and Mark and Amy not wearing masks, and then I got to preach without a mask for the first time in over a year. This past Sunday, which was great, which was reinvigorating for me. You had to stare at my face, but I got to breathe much more easily, so my gain is your loss. I apologize for that. But we are still asking for RSVPs, even though we've had those really positive, good changes. So if you plan to be here in person this coming Sunday, April 25th, please RSVP through Nancy's email. You can always go directly to the website. We also put that RSVP link on our social media page on Friday. So please be sure to RSVP for this coming Sunday. And as always, if you can't be here, please be sure to live stream. Now this Sunday, we will be continuing our 2 Timothy sermon series, reading chapter 1, verses 8 through 18. And the theme of these verses is pretty similar to the theme of last week, verses 1 through 7. Persevering through times of suffering in our faith and our mission as servants of Christ, the way Timothy was. That includes when we're discouraged, when we're tired, when we're burnt out, the way Timothy was. But the sermon this week, the text this week, while it may focus on that same theme, it definitely is a little more pointed. It's a little more direct in terms of what kind of suffering Paul is talking about. The reaction that Timothy may be tempted to have to that suffering for his faith and his mission and suffering for the gospel. And that, of course, raises questions about how we might be tempted to react to suffering for our faith. And it certainly raises some major challenges for us. Those were questions that Christians back then had to deal with, and those are questions that Christians today, like you and me, need to be thinking about as well. So hopefully you can be here Sunday, April 25th. RSVP if you do plan to join us as we continue 2 Timothy chapter 1, reading verses 8 through 18. But before Sunday rolls around, we do have a men's breakfast this coming Friday at 7 a.m. Contact Joe Fenimore for more information about that. We're continuing in the Gospel of John. So we would love to have you there, 7 a.m. Bring your breakfast, bring your coffee, all that good stuff, and join us for the men's breakfast. And then the final announcement I do want to draw to your attention, because it's one that I know several people in our church are excited about, and I'm one of them, is the return of volleyball. That'll be here before you know it. Don't let the snow on your roof fool you. It is volleyball season at Prairie View. Our volleyball season will start on Monday, May 10th, the Monday after Mother's Day. We're very excited to get back out there, get some sand between our toes, have some fun, get some exercise, and spend time together as brothers and sisters in Christ. And maybe one of the biggest things for you to know about volleyball this year compared to last year is that last year we started without masks because that was before any sort of state mask mandate had been put down. any sort of city-state mask mandate had been put down for events outdoors. Now, obviously, the mask mandate does no longer exist in the same way it did 10 months ago or 9 months ago. And on top of that, we're at a different phase and stage of the pandemic than we were during volleyball 2020. So we are happy to announce that we are not requiring masks for those who play volleyball. Between the number of people who have been vaccinated, between the numbers, where they are, between the fact that we're outdoors and we know much more about how the virus tends to circulate, and your chances of getting the coronavirus when you're outside is really slim to none. Because of all those factors, we feel much more comfortable saying that, hey, if you want to come play volleyball and you don't want to wear a mask, you don't have to. Now, of course, if you would still prefer to wear one, nobody's going to judge you. We're pretty much past that in our current predicament. No one's going to think twice if you wear a mask to volleyball. But if you do not want to wear one, you are not required to wear one. So hopefully that will open up some possibilities. Maybe if you didn't play last year because you just didn't like the thought of being out in 90 degrees, exercising in a mask, which, who can blame you? Maybe you will come this year and get your feet sandy again and work off some of the rust and play some volleyball. So that starts Monday, May 10th. Everyone 16 and older is welcome to play, regardless of how skilled or experienced or athletic you might be. It's a lot of fun, and we take it seriously, but not too seriously. So if you want to play, please come and give it a shot. Contact Craig Hunter for more information. So I think that pretty much covers it for our midweek update for today, April 21st, 2021. Hope to see you on Sunday the 25th as we continue 2 Timothy. Have a great rest of your week, and we hope to see you soon. All right, take care.